everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review. This is where we go back and take a look at all the reviews we did the past week, give you short summaries of each, and then in the comments you can find a full link for the full review if you want to know more. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Zhi Garcia here. So last week I put out a video comparing Pyramid of Penguin with the original printing of that game, which was called Pyramid in English, or also Fluch der Mumie in German, which is the version I have and the one I compared it to. Check that video out. I also did we did an episode of Board Game Blender, so talking about games I do a lot with very few components, so take a look at that one as well. And then I've got 3 reviews here. I reviewed a tiny little roll and write game from Reiner Knizia called Crisscross, and it is one of the simplest, one of the shortest, one of the most straightforward roll and write games out there. I enjoyed it. It's nothing that is going to set anyone's world on fire or anything like that, but I thought it was cute. I think it's going to go over well as a backpack game. You know, the kind of thing you just take along with you. You pull it out, roll the dice 12 times, game's over, and you see how you did. I thought it was cute. I reviewed Ticket to Ride New York, which is a tiny little version of Ticket to Ride with fewer connections, a smaller sort of scope. It plays in about 15-20 minutes. I thought it was fine. I think you are gaining a shorter play experience. You are losing, though, any sort of feeling of progression, a clear beginning, middle, and end. You know, it does not have a lot of scope. That's to be expected. I could see this one being a good workplace lunchtime game if you're not sure if you're going to be able to fit in Ticket to Ride, because it could go over an hour. This is a good one for that. But still, I don't think it's as good as any of the other standalone Ticket to Ride big box games. And then lastly, I reviewed Istanbul, the dice game. I love Istanbul. I think it's a great sort of worker placement, resource management, push your luck game. The dice game keeps the soul of the original game while simplifying and streamlining just about every aspect of it. I don't like it as much as the original game. I do miss that, the tactics and the strategy in the original one. But for a game that for the dice game version of something, this is one of the ones that really retains what I liked about the original one, the core of the original one. So I was very impressed by it. I thought it was a really neat game. And if you like the original, do yourself a favor and check this one out. And that's it for me. I will see you all next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to another week in review. We did 2 Miami Dice reviews last week. We did one for Rise of Queensdale. This is one that's being put out by Ravensburger, and it is a legacy style game with a lot of Euro style mechanics in there as well. So I'm not really feeling it too much. We've got about 6 games under our belt so far out of about the 18, maybe 20 games that you have to play to get the game done. So I'm not really feeling it. Giving it a 6 out of 10 right now. It's just slightly above average for me, but maybe we'll see later. It's a first impressions video for Miami Dice, so we're going to be doing more videos about it in the future, so keep your eye open for those. We also did one for Gizmos, a new game from Simon Limited and Phil Walker Harding as the designer. This one is a great family weight or actually entry-level game for a lot of different people. It's a very simple set collection, engine building type thing that's going on, and it's pretty fun. I gave this one a 7 out of 10. Now, I also did 2 regular reviews for myself on my own, and did one for Sorcerer and Stones. It's been a long time since I've actually got my review copy of this, but the review copy was, because of a series of unfortunate events, incomplete, so I couldn't review it. But I got one from Deepwater Games, because they're going to be the North American, I guess you could say, or everywhere else distributor for Emperor S4 games. And Sorcerer and Stones is actually a really fun game. It gets a little brain burning, and it probably suffers a little bit from some analysis paralysis on your turns, but I did enjoy it, gave it a 7 out of 10, so go check that review out and see what you think. Also did a review for Big Trouble in Little China, the game from Everything Epic. Chris Bartalis, and I can't remember the other designer's name right now, but this game is a great game. I really enjoyed it. Had a great time. Gave it an 8 out of 10. I also really enjoyed the movie as well. So there is that as a caveat. But go check out the review and you'll see whether or not you're going to like it. Also did a What's in There video for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar's new box set, Soul War. And so gave you a look at everything that's in there. A 320-page hardbound book with ribbons. Just opulence comes to mind. But it's a really neat box set. So we're going to be looking into getting some more videos out of that one as well. So go check that out. And then finally, we did our inaugural, I guess, video episode of Token Punch Lunch. It's a new name, but it is the same show. It's the revamped name for Throat Punch Lunch, and so I decided to change it, make it a little bit more welcoming, a little bit more nice, and so we did that. But the show, the contributors, they're all the same, and they're the same level of quality that you've expected in the past. So that's it from me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side.
Okay, so for me, first of all, Werebeasts. Fortunately, I really didn't like this one at all. Player elimination can be random player elimination, just not that interesting a set collection. It feels like the Werewolf license was added to a game that really just wasn't that fun of a game to begin with. Penny Papers. I did one review taking a look at all three of these roll and write games. One of them, the Wairakokwa one, I found that the negative effects really messed the game up, so that one gets a 4. The other ones were okay. They're fun games. I just felt like there's other roll and writes that probably do better than they do. I took a look at Senshi. This is a game from Arcane Wonders in which you're collecting discs and then distributing them. But it's okay. It's a casual, fun game, but it feels too light. It just feels kind of like you're just putting stuff out and seeing where it goes. Dice Fishing. This is a fun little... Basically, you want to roll a certain number to catch a fish, but you want to use the fewest dice to do so. You're outbidding other people by using less dice if possible. Pyramid of Penguin. This is a redoing of an older game. The Pyramid game. It works well. I think the penguin theme is not necessary, but it's a fun one versus all where you have magnets chasing people. So I like that one. Divinity Derby. This is a racing game, which I thought was really entertaining. As you're racing these big divine beasts around the board, you are different gods betting on them to win and or lose. There's a lot of racing games like this, but this one adds a little bit of a few twists that I enjoyed. We've also been taking a look at the Rise of Queensdale, a legacy game. We did kind of a first impressions on this one, give you our first thoughts on it. I'm enjoying it so far. I would like to see more, because we are probably only a third through the game at this point, but that one was entertaining. Blue Lagoon. This is a lighter Reiner Knizia game from Blue Orange Games, where you're placing discs and huts around the board, trying to get points through various ways, controlling islands. It feels like a lighter version of Through the Desert, and has some really nice pieces. I also took a look at Century Eastern Wonders. This is the... sequel to Century Spice Road, and they are actually compatible. So I actually like the combination of them quite a bit. I think the game is a fine one. It's a more thinky version of Century Eastern Wonders. Coimbra is a all get out, fully involved Euro-style game in which the theme doesn't matter, but the points do. Lots of different ways to get points. I especially like this dice drafting mechanism where you take a dice and both the number and the color of the die matters. Gizmos. We did a Miami Dice of this one. Really enjoyed this as you're putting together machinery and watching it run. It has a big gizmo in the game of marbles coming down a chute, which is pretty neat, but I like the game around that just as much. Then I took a look at a couple kids games. Magic Maze Kids. This game is amazing for kids. It's based on Magic Maze, but it has a great tutorial system, and you learn, and kids are going to learn a lot of cool concepts of working together to accomplish certain goals. And then My Little Scythe, one of the best family games I've ever played. Works well teaching children some really cool advanced concepts in gaming. Also just being a great game itself and fantastic production. So those are the reviews that I did this week. We also did a few other videos and live Q&A and Board Game Breakfast. Oh, that's last week, and there's just different videos go up over the course of the week. Thanks so much for watching Week in Review. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this is the Dice Tower.